that from your side's perspective?
Look, we always knew it was going to be a difficult task, given what was on the line for Celtic. We've probably been a little bit unfortunate with the way that the fixtures have fell. Could have done with this one maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time when the league was all wrapped up. But it sounds bizarre to sit here and say for the opening half an hour I thought we were very good, and I thought the shape of the team was good, and we were aggressive with the press, forced Celtic into playing a lot longer than they would normally have liked. But the first goal was a real kick in the teeth, given it's an own goal, it's a bit of misfortune, and then the second one comes from a promising attack that we had, a team effort on goal, but then within 5 or 6 seconds, with the pace of Celtic on the counter-attack, the ball ends up in the back of your net, and then we've got a mountain to climb from that point on.
I know it's strange, game finishes 5-0, but that opening 30 minutes, do you feel that was some of the best football you've played both with and without the ball against Celtic in a while?
Yeah, arguably it was. I mean, it was a different approach to what we've done in the past. You're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. Sometimes you can sit off the game and sit in a low block for 90 minutes and try and contain them and hope to hit them on the break, or you can do what we tried to do, which was to go and get after them at the top end of the pitch and force turnovers. And I thought in that opening 30 minutes we'd done that numerous times. We got lots of crosses into the box, but Celtic, with the quality that they have, Brendan Rodgers, tactical nous, they soon figure you out and they find a way to break you down. And I don't think it'll be a great surprise to most people out there that Celtic have won here today, but obviously we're a bit embarrassed ourselves with the way the scoreline looks.
How important is it that you don't get too down about it though, or ahead of the next game?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously the players, we've all got personal pride, and nobody likes to be on the end of a scoreline like that. But look, I take responsibility as the manager. I've asked the players to go and play a certain way. The timings of the goal, you could argue at 2-0 down, could we have managed the game a little bit better and got to half time with the scoreline being 2? They score 3 or 4 minutes into added on time in the first half, and then they score 2 minutes right after the break. And at that point then for us it's about damage limitations. We take off the likes of Dalby and Doherty just to try and protect them a little bit. We can't afford any injuries to those two. And look, I'm not going to be overly critical of the players. We're disappointed, of course we are, but that group have put us in a really good position. They've fought extremely hard all season to make sure we got the top 6, and we're still very much in the fight for third place. We'll wait and see what happens at Pittodrie this afternoon, but we can't dwell on this one. We have to pick ourselves up and we have to make sure we're ready for another difficult fixture next weekend.
Jim, it can't detract from what's been a good season, because you still are. It could be a cracking end to your season in the next 4 matches.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't want the season to peter out, and we're not satisfied with just finishing 5th. We really want to try and keep the pressure on Aberdeen and Hibs above us, but that's what happens in the top half of the table. You end up playing the best teams in the league, and those fixtures are always a lot harder than the ones in the bottom half. But this is the position that we want to be in. This is the position that we fought hard to put ourselves in, and we'll keep fighting right till the end. I don't think today was a case of lack of effort or commitment on the players' part. We came up against the best team in the country, and when Celtic play the way they did for the last hour with the speed in the game, they can do that to any team. I think that's 3 games in a row now where they've scored 5 goals. So credit to them, congratulations to Brendan Rodgers and to his players, and they thoroughly deserve to enjoy the celebrations tonight, because they have by a country mile been the best team in the country.
Jim, how much confidence do you have in your side that they can finish better than 5th this season?
Well, look, I mean, I've said it numerous times, you get greedy, don't you? I mean, start of the season we all would have probably accepted finishing 7th or 8th. The fact that we finished in the top half I think is a great achievement, but now everybody's talking about Europe, so the pressure is still on, very much so, and we want to experience European football as well as as a staff and as a group of players, because a lot of us have never had that before. So still a hell of a lot to play for. We're obviously, apologetic to the supporters today for the way that the game just petered out. They've been really significant all season in the support that they've gave the team, and we're going to need them over the next 4 games, and we'll not allow this one to affect the psychology of the group. We'll pick ourselves up and we'll go again.
They got stopped by a kind of fairly unusual protest. Was that a hindrance? Was it frustrating or something?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not ideal, obviously. I mean, at that particular moment in time, I think it was around about 25 minutes, I felt that we were really competitive at that stage, and we certainly didn't want the break in play. But yeah, I mean, look, these things happen. It was a bit of a strange situation, not one that I've experienced before.